Hello friends, Caddy here. I'm sharing my 50th process video with you. This is also number 2 out of 10 for my Work It Wednesday challenge. I have all of my kit in this iris container. I put everything in there so I won't get anything, so that nothing will be misplaced. And I am taking out a few things that I think I'm going to use. I originally was going to use that paper as my background, but I will switch that up in a little bit. This is the photo I'm scrapbooking. There you go. That's the one I'm going to be using in the back. So that's a photo of my niece on her first birthday, and she looks super adorable. So I knew I wanted to scrapbook this picture. So I'm beginning with this metal frame. I got this metal frame at Michael's. That was like at the $1.50 bin. So I'm gonna use these cork scallop circles and I'm cutting them in half, and then I'm going to place them around the whole frame to create a border inside of the frame. Now I did have to get another package. I had another package of these and I did have to get them so I could use them all the same size. And there they are. That's what it looks like from the back. I also took some of that other paper that I was originally going to use, and I cut off and I cut up some of the flowers. I fussy cut them, so those are what you see to the right side. Now I'm taking my scallop punch and I'm punching out paper from that same 6x6 paper pad for the IM collection. It's a pink polka dot, and I'm going to place some of those pink polka dots behind the cork scallops, and then I'm going to alternate. I'm going to do one pink and then one in that teal, which is just a piece of teal that I had on my desk from my stash. So I'm going to go back and forth and kind of alternate one pink and one teal. So this is what the back looks like. So in a minute you'll see what it looks like when I flip it around and it's done, and that's what it looks like. So yeah, I'm just trying to get it okay. Then I decided to punch out some more and put them on the front of the frame. So taking this paper, and I'm gonna go ahead and get the whole center of it, and I'm gonna leave just a border of that paper because it's very busy. So you know, that would have been a very busy background. So I took this teal paper from my stash as well. This was not in my kit, this teal paper, but I am going to use it because it matches and it's part of my stash either way. So the idea is to use up my stash, so that's why I'm gonna end up using this. And I was originally gonna use this as the background, but I decided to use it in the center. And I need to switch out my blade again on my trimmer because it is horrible, and especially with this, because this paper is some very old paper. I couldn't even tell you where this is from, but it's very, very thin. It's that really, really cheap paper, so it's very thin. So I guess that's why my blade, you know, kind of butchers it a bit when you're trimming it. So decide to place that in the center, and that has kind of like a swirly pattern. And then I'm going to use just some washi tape to stick that down at the back, just because I didn't cut it too much bigger than my border, so I wasn't sure that my what is it, my ATG would go around the whole thing. And then it wasn't straight, so the OCD kicked in and it had to be straight. So yeah, and I'm putting the final piece. And then this washi tape kept on getting like when you go to unwrap it, it lifts up, I guess, more than it should, so it lifts up the next layer. Or, yeah, so it was giving me a little bit of a hard time, but I got it to work. So there is what my and then I'm cutting off the corners of the picture because otherwise they would pop out through the back. So I cut that out, and then I'm just adhering it to that frame, and that's what it looks like. So it's really, really cute, and it's a really cute picture. So, and also, I mean, the purpose behind that was just, you know, to add decoration to around the frame, but also to cover my mom, who's in the background, and you see my mom's behind because she's, you know, not facing the camera, so that's not very pretty. So, so, you know, I mean, it's a picture of my niece, so I wanted her to be the focal point, so I covered my mom's behind. So I'm just going through the ephemera pack. This is the I Am ephemera pack, and I'm just picking out a few pieces that I think would go with this, and I'm going to end up embellishing this a whole lot. So you're going to see me you know, just embellish, and I'm going to have two main embellishment clusters, which is going to be one at the bottom right and one on the left, top left of the frame, not of the whole page but of the frame. So I'm taking from the Pink Paisley Hello Sunshine. This is a chipboard pack, and I took those two photo corners, which are in yellow, and I took those two hearts, that arrow. So I take a few pieces from this pack, and then I'm going to start placing my other embellishments all around. And then I take that little I Am tab, which I'm going to place on top, and here I go. I'm just kind of layering, and I really like that pink ampersand, but I don't end up using it on this layout. So here I go. I'm just kind of figuring out how I want these flowers. These are the flowers that I fussy cut from the paper that I was originally going to use as my background, the first one you saw me put out. I love that paper. I love those flowers, so I fussy cut those. So just arranging them and trying to see how I want them to go. So I decided I kind of like the way they look, so I'm gonna start just adhering them together, so I can kind of get an idea of, you know, what it's going to look like. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I will add, later on, I will add some hot glue behind them, just so that they stick a little bit better to that metal. Because that metal, you know, and I'm using that little tiny tape glider, so that doesn't always hold as well as it should. So here I go, just using those things, those embellishment pieces. Take that little heart, and again, this is all from the I Am collection, and the things in my kit, you know. So the Pink Paisley Hello Sunshine, and the papers from my kit. And I'm taking these flowers. These are just Michael's flowers. So I'm gonna add two on top and two at the bottom, and they're just in that like minty green color. So I added a couple of those. Let's see. Just looking again through all the embellishments, trying to see if there's anything else that I might want to use on this layout. And it came together pretty quickly. I got this layout done in like, I don't know if it was like an hour or so. It was pretty quick. Didn't take me all that long. I mean, the longest that took me, or what took me longest, was fussy cutting the flowers. So once I got that done, you know, it was pretty quick. I'm going through my wood veneer now, and I'm going to pick out that one, which is that's a Teresa Collins, that one, from a Teresa Collins wood veneer pack. And then the Wish, I'm not sure. I think that's in one of the packs I just ordered recently, from Studio Calico, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not sure. And then the little camera, which I'm going to place on top. And I use the Wish because it was her birthday, so I thought that was appropriate. And then there I go with the hot glue. I'm going to hot glue those flowers down, because I find that's the best way to glue those flowers down, with the hot glue. I don't know if I go in with the hot glue in other spots now, or if I do that later. And then I was going to adhere down the wood veneer just as it was, but I did decide to paint it. So I do take this, this is the Heidi Swapp Color Shine in teal. So I take that, and I just paint the little camera, the Wish, and the one. And I wanted to, you know, bring some of that teal color into the, you know, around the photo, because it is in that background paper. So that's why I did this, to kind of add a little bit of that color to the layout. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I think I'm going to dry it with my heat tool. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now, just drying it a bit with my heat tool to make sure that it's dry before I stick it on there. I don't want any paint to get on my flowers and on my layout. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm taking some of these gold little glitter stickers, glitter sticker dots. And I'm going to place those just like you would place enamel dots. I place them in sets of 3, but I will add some little hearts to that in a little bit. So there I go, just getting my my wood veneer dry, and it was pretty quick. I mean, that color shine dries pretty quickly, so there I go. And then I'm taking my fine line bottle to glue down that wish. And I don't know why, I don't know if this is normal, but I have to really you know, press it really hard for it to come out. I guess it's normal because the edge is, you know, the tip is so thin, but I don't know, I really have to push down hard to get the glue out. But I mean, it's still great because I can get, you know, little glue on little wood veneers or little embellishments, so it's really great. So I'm almost done with the layout. Like I said, it was fairly quick. It didn't take me all that long. I decided to take these. These are just some flowers from the dollar store, and they're little tiny white balls. I don't know what they're called. I took the tags off of the flowers, so I don't know what they're called. But yeah, they're like foam, little foam balls. So I just added a few at the top and a few at the bottom, because those are just sitting there. Oh, there I go. I'm adding some of that hot glue to the back of things just to make sure they're stuck down and make sure they don't move around. And then the only thing you're not going to see me do on camera, there you go, I'm adding those hearts, is going to be adding my title, because once I got done with the layout, I thought I was done, and then I decided to add the back layer, which you'll see in a minute, which is a pink, just another pink border. But then the title, I forgot that I didn't add it. So, okay, there I go, I'm adding the back. So the title, I'm going to add it, and I just use some Studio Calico pink little tiny letter stickers, and I put my title on. You can see in the still shots where I place my title around the frame, where there isn't any embellishing. So that's what I did off camera. So just taking a piece off that and just gonna add a thin border of that pink, because I just felt like it needed another layer. I don't know, I wasn't 100% happy, and then when I added this layer I was happy, so that worked out for me. And there you go, now it's done. Well, and then I add my title, and then it's done. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned, more videos to come for my Work It Wednesday challenge. I'm having a ton of fun using this kit that I created. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thank you, and have a great day. Bye bye.